Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I am proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. Just a really quick thing in my head is that the song Childhood, when Michael had made the video about Michael talking about the song Childhood, and Michael tells you if you really want to know him, the most autobiographical song that he's ever written is Childhood. And the song he tells you, no one understands me. And even when he's telling you that stuff to listen to Childhood, he's telling you that people don't really know me. And if you really want to know me, listen to the song Childhood. And in the song he tells you, no one understands me. So like, right there, it just tells you that all of the people who think that they know like what Billie Jean is about, right? Like what I say that you don't know what it's about. It's about something different, all right? And the people that think they know what Beat It's about, you know? People that think they know what Leave Me Alone's about, you know? People that think they know what Childhood's about. People think they need all those songs, right? Michael just told you, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know. You don't get it. He flat out told you, no one understands me. He told that, and so that shit is just like sticks in me. It's so bad. It's like, dude, that's all the proof I need. It's all the proof I need to show you that the whole story of what you think you know about Michael Jackson is wrong. And he told you in his own words. He told you the exact song, how to figure out who he actually is. It's just really, it really bugs me because it's like I said, that is all the proof I need, you know, but I have so much more, but that shit is really, okay, but so, now here's another thing. So, I'm going to get into a couple things in this video, but I'm going to talk about the Annie of the Smooth Criminal, like who's Annie, right? And now it's one of these things that's like, maybe those can't be answered. Sometimes and now maybe I do have the answer, but if this is the answer, can I prove this? That's the thing. And I've made a video about this before. I've talked about this exact thing. I've talked about this. But this is just one of those things I want to just show you to say it's like, okay, now if this is the answer, could I prove this? So it's one of those things that it's just like, it's like kind of lost. Unless you have the direct explanation from Michael, then how do we actually know if this is right? How would we ever know it's right? So there's things about my evidence that I'm like a realist, you know, I'm realistic. I'm not telling you, this is it and I know it's it and if you don't get it, you're a loser. I just come out and tell you, look at, let me show you what this is, right? Let me show you what this is saying. And I can show you that it definitely connects and it shows a lot of the stuff, but I don't know for sure on this kind of thing, right? So just like, okay, so in the Annie, like the couple of things is that, obviously with me, I'm thinking Little Orphan Annie. That's like something that's in my head, right? So the Little Orphan Annie, I'm thinking something with that it has something like that. And then the other thing is I've heard that, I don't know, the Michael Jackson fandom people, whatever. There's a story about Michael Jackson doing CPR on a CPR dummy, and the CPR's name was Annie. And it's like, see, me saying that this what I'm going to show you, this is from the movie The Champ. Now, I think that this is actually the bigger thing. And but I'm not going to say that invalidates like the resuscitation dummy. It's like, yeah, maybe Michael did do a resuscitation dummy, and they said the word Annie, are you okay? And maybe that's what sparked this other thought about this Annie, and in this situation about the woman not giving her child away and stuff, right? So maybe the dummy thing is part of the story, right? But it's not what the song's actually about. It's not about a fucking resuscitation dummy. Like, the people think Michael would actually write songs about that. But now, there could be like a little line and stuff. He could, you know, but it's not, that's not what the song is about, right? And so now let me show you what I think Annie is. Okay, what I actually think it is and stuff. But like I said, if this is what it is, I don't think there's any way for me to prove it. So, this is the movie called The Champ. And now this is a remake of see, that's another thing too, is like this movie, The Champ, there was an older movie in the 30s, The Champ. There, it says right there, 1931 and stuff, right? And then the little kid, because you're going to see the kid in this is Ricky Schroder, that little blonde, little white kid, good-looking kid with blonde hair. We know Michael Jackson is attracted to those kind of boys and shit, right? These Hollywood child actors that look like Macaulay Culkin and shit, right? And you're going to see the same thing with Ricky Schroder here. And then this is a remake of a movie from the 1931. Like, just in my head, some Jimmy Dugan is coming to my head that maybe that's the kid's name from the 31, but I could be totally wrong about that, right? But there is a little movie when Michael likes the movies. This is the kind of stuff that Michael liked and stuff. This is this Champ movie is a really good movie. If you people have never seen Champ, it's going to make you cry. It's a sad fucking movie, and the story of what it's about, when you understand Michael and the story of what I'm telling, you can see that this is the kind of movie that Michael would have been very attracted to for all bunches of reasons, right? So this is the trailer for Champ.
Hey, what do you need when you walk down Broadway? What? 44.
That loves a winner. John Voight is the champ.
You know what I did with the money?
Oh, gambling.
Yeah.
Gambling?
Yeah, that's right. I went gambling again.
Some things never change.
John Voight and Faye Dunaway. The champ.
She's mine?
Yeah.
All mine?
Yeah, she's all yours.
For the champ, there is always more to win and more to lose.
What are you doing here now? What do you want to do? After 7 years, you want to come back. What do you want to do? Hold his hand?
I'm real. I am his mother. No, you're not my mother. You won't live with us. You're not married to Champ.
I'm taking this fight, Jackie, for me and my boy. I gotta do something for my boy.
Everyone he loves, he has to win.
I saved this for you for 7 years. The clubs of a champion.
Everything he wants, he has to fight for.
Come on, let's go. What's the hold up here?
I got to get something for you.
What do you got in the box?
I'll show you later. Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. This time, he isn't fighting for a living.
One person doesn't care. That's why I have a broken marriage.
Don't tell me I didn't care.
Then why did you leave?
He's fighting for his life. John Voight, Faye Dunaway, and introducing Ricky Schroeder in a Franco Zeffirelli film, The Champ.
Okay, so now it says introducing Ricky Schroeder. Now, Ricky Schroeder went on to be the star in the TV show Silver Spoons. And the Silver Spoons, there's the same story that he wasn't raised by his dad. His dad ends up being some really rich guy, but he wasn't raised with his dad. Something happened. I'd have to go back and see exactly what was the pretext of that story, the Silver Spoons. But I know it was something where it was like Ricky Schroeder didn't, yeah, the kid, Ricky Schroeder, I'll just say Ricky Schroeder, I can't remember his name in the Silver Spoons. But so he didn't live with his dad. There was something about that he was an estranged child where it wasn't like that. And then something like happened to his mother and he had to go live with his dad, right? There was something like that because he went to go live with his dad when he was already like 10 years old, something like that, in the Silver Spoons, right? But then the Silver Spoons, the dad is really rich and he lives like a child. He has this like, the house in Silver Spoons, it's kind of like a Neverland. It's got the train that comes in through the house and stuff, and he's got the room of all the video games and stuff. Like as a kid, that was really cool because I loved Silver Spoons because of that kind of stuff, right? And so, and then is that Alfonso, I can't think of his whole name, that Alfonso kid, the kid that plays, because I always know him as because I'm old and stuff, and so that Alfonso character guy, I know him from the Michael Jackson Pepsi commercials, but I know him as the tap dance kid. So, like, because I'm old, so when I knew that's the kid that was in the Michael Jackson video, the Pepsi, when they would talk about it, they would say, he's the tap dance kid. That's so, I always just, like, that's the name I always call him. But so, I mean, that's the guy, he went on to be in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with Will Smith. He was in that show, that Alfonso kid. But he was in Silver Spoons, too. Right, so that kid, the kid that's in Michael Jackson's Pepsi commercials, is a star in the Silver Spoon show, right? So that's what I'm just showing you is that Michael Jackson definitely would have been very rare with Ricky Schroeder. In that Silver Spoon show, he definitely would have known, and the context of the story of what's going on in Silver Spoons, and then you go back and look and see where Ricky Schroeder got to start in that film, The Champ. And like he said, when he's telling that woman, you're not my mother, you don't live with us, you're not my mom, because what happened is she's come back into his life and she's trying to regain her friendship. This same common theme story is what's constantly taking place with Michael Jackson in this relation, right? And so her name's Annie in the movie. The mom's name's Annie, okay? And so, now Diana Ross is definitely Annie. You know, and the Annie, Are You Okay? And the Smooth Criminal, it's definitely Diana Ross that he's talking about. She's Annie and stuff, right? But now, why is she called Annie? This is what we're trying to explain. Why is she called Annie and stuff? And I think it's this. I think it's the champ and stuff. But if it is the champ, and I can show you all the connections, but even though I can show you all the connections stuff, it's still like, it's not a proof. I still don't know. I can show you this, and I can show you why it makes sense, but it's not like, is it for sure proof? And so that's the difference that like I explained. I'm not always exactly right, but I'll show you the information of what I got. So let me read this to you also. This is the champ. This is the plot of the champ. So it's ex-boxing champion Billy Flynn. Okay, so his name's Billy. Okay, so now you have the connection to the name Billy. He spells it with the Y instead of the I-E, but still, his name's Billy. So now you have, like, with the story of the Billie Jean stuff, right? So the guy's name's Billy. So what I'm trying to point out is that if you're Michael Jackson and you're watching this, you got to think about it as being Michael and watching this, and how is it affecting him and stuff, right? So that's what I'm saying is that this movie, and that the guy's name's Billy, right? That these connect in a way that's like, I think it's this. I think this is what the Annie is, right? So it says, Billy Flynn lives in the city of Hialeah, Florida, where he is trying to settle down as a horse trainer after giving up boxing, his boxing title. A boxer propositions that Billy enters a match with him in the future. Billy shows up at the gym with his son TJ, who calls his father Champ. When he learns the man has not arrived, Billy angrily storms out of the gym, leaving his son behind. TJ later finds him drunk inside the bar. When he takes him home, neighbor Josie asks about his drunken state on the street, and TJ tells her that Charlie and his friends brought him back from... Okay, that's that part. So, let me just read this next part here. Okay, so... Next morning, Billy announces he won $6,400 gambling and uses it to buy TJ his own horse named She's a Lady. Lady is entered in the race, but suddenly collapses, scraping her leg. Annie, Billy's wife, from whom he had separated 7 years ago. Okay? Now that thing right there is I'm gonna show you that it's 7 years like that. I'm going to show you the next thing I'm going to show you. We're going to go to the Dr. Conrad Murray. I'm going to show you something there. But that 7 years becomes important to that, because this is the kind of thing that when Michael would have heard that story of Conrad Murray, Michael could have linked it up to this, right? And that's why he would have been so like friendly with Dr. Conrad Murray, why he allowed him to have that friendship with them. So, where was I at there? Collapses, scraping her leg. Okay, 7 years ago. Had placed a bet on the horse, and okay, that's the Annie had placed a bet on the horse, and arrives after Lady's fall. Billy explains that he told TJ that Annie was dead. Okay? See, that's the kind of thing that, Annie, are you okay? Because the father told the kid, Annie's dead. Annie, he's like, your mom's dead. That's what he told her. He's like, your mom's dead, right? And that she deserted them. Okay, Annie invites TJ to her cruise ship, and then that's the line where you see when he's saying, you're not my mom, because she invites him to the cruise ship because now she's rich. So this same kind of, and she's trying to get back into her kid's life and shit, right? That same common theme of a story that's taking place in Michael Jackson's life, and you see how these stories parallel the true story. So if you're Michael Jackson and you're experiencing this movie, it's hitting you in a whole different way, and he's experiencing it and seeing the similarities to his relationship, which means that this is the kind of movie of which Michael would remember and draw inspiration from, of which that's probably the Annie, because he's like, Annie was dead, what? And the kid's saying, you're not my mom, you don't live with us, you know? And now you can see why he's saying, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Because of this kind of thing, right? When he's talking about Diana and stuff, really, but he's also linking it up to the plot of this movie, like the Annie and the situation of what's taking place with the Annie and the Billy, right? It's interesting and stuff, right? And like I said, with the kid being Ricky Schroeder, being that he's the kid on the Silver Spoons show, and then that Alfonso Ribera, what's his name? I don't know his whole name. It is Alfonso, you know? That the tap dance kid, the kid that's in the Pepsi commercial, that's the kid that stars in the movie. And like I said, The Silver Spoon Show is about the same thing, that the kid wasn't raised with the dad. He had to go back and live with them, and then the dad's rich. This common theme that's taking place, right? And so, like I said, even with all this stuff, I still am not going to say for sure that this is the origins of the Annie, but this is definitely something that's a very interesting part. If you want to know where the Annie is and what it's about, this is my best guess that it's related to this. But like I said, when I take you to this, how are the fans going to understand that? Because we're way out, you know? But that's what my investigation is a much more advanced investigation and research and stuff, right? But I don't do editing. I'm not a good editor. Look at the cheap editing I'm doing and stuff, right? This is cheap editing and shit, right? So, and that's the thing, is that proves that I'm in here fighting to prove a story, because I didn't come into YouTube because I had the talent of being an editor, you know? A perfect example is that page called The Detail. The Detail came into YouTube because they knew how to do editing. And then they said, well, who's a really famous person out there that I can edit videos together for, and I can get their stupid fans to watch, and so that they can steal money from that person, which they steal from Michael Jackson. So that's what the page The Detail is. That page doesn't give a fuck about Michael Jackson. That page is strictly a person who does editing, and they need a entertainer, somebody that they can use to edit their stuff so they can get their fans to watch, so that they can sell them cheap t-shirts and get money off of their revenue, off of their page, because that's what their whole thing's about. They're not doing real Michael Jackson investigation. If the Detail ever, and see, I sent the Detail emails telling about my story, and what he blocked me, said I will never talk about your story, I don't ever look at your shit, fucking like basic get lost, like fuck you. So the Detail told me to fuck off. Okay? So fuck that motherfucker. Fuck every single one of you stupid motherfuckers that thinks that that's what a Michael Jackson fan. That is a Michael Jackson thief. That is the fucking enemy. Motherfuckers and shit. Okay, so now this is Conrad Murray. See? This is Conrad Murray's Wikipedia. Now, Jack, the person Jack told me, because Jack had mentioned a few other things, so Jack told me to look at this. Jack told me, this is funny how it always works too, is they tell me to look at one thing, and then instantly I see something else too, right? So I'm going to show you the next thing. But what Jack told me is to look at the early life, right? And so let me read the early life of Conrad Murray. Murray was born on February 19th, 1953, and was raised by his maternal grandparents, who were farmers in Grenada, until he joined his mother, Milta in Trinidad and Tobago when he was 7 years old. See, 7 years old. So right there, that's that same story of what was taking place with the champ. That he said, your mother had left us 7 years ago. You left 7 years ago, right? And then so the mother doesn't come back for 7 years. So that's the kind of thing where, like, if Conrad Murray had told this story to Michael, Michael could have related it to his own situation, but also relates it to the movie The Champ kind of thing, right? It's a similar type of story. These are people that this is the kind of story that Michael would have been inspired by and would have felt a connection to. And then you could see now why he would have trusted Conrad Murray and wanted him around and stuff, right? So he says, when he was 7, he grew up poor in Port of Spain, the capital of Trinidad and Tobago. He did not meet his father, Raleigh Andrew, also a physician, until he was 25 years old. Andrew, who died in 21, devoted medical, so I don't need more of this stuff. So just, I needed to see that Conrad Murray's life was that he was raised by his grandparents, didn't really go back and live with his mother until he's 7 years old, didn't really meet his father until he's 25. So Conrad has one of those kind of stories. That's the stuff. And so what it says there, with the comment, I'll show you over here, the picture. But so the thing is, so instantly when I saw the birth date, I'm like, February 19th, I'm like, let me click this up. I'm like, isn't that Smokey's birthday? It's like, Smokey Robinson, born February 19th. See? Smokey. So Smokey Robinson, so that was the thing, like the Jack had told me about the early life, and then I saw the birthday, and I'm like, wait, February 19th? I'm like, that's Smokey's birthday, you know? So the guy who actually conceives Michael Jackson has the birthdays, which is Smokey Robinson. His birthday is February 19th. And then the guy that's actually credited with killing Michael Jackson, his birthday is February 19th. You know? That is a strange coincidence, right? Which, if Smokey Robinson's not Michael Jackson's father, then there is no connection there, right? But if you're Michael Jackson and you hear that Conrad Murray, if you hear Conrad Murray has that same family lineage type of story, with not being raised with his mother, not really knowing his father, raised as a poor child, and then Conrad Murray, you find out that, and if you're Michael, then he tells you his birthday, and you find out, oh, that's fucking the same birthday as Smokey. Wouldn't you think that God had delivered Conrad Murray to you if you were Michael Jackson in that situation? And then that's how Conrad becomes this confidant of Michael, and they get into that situation where all the stuff goes on, right? So that's just wanted to show you a few pieces of information, show you that this is things about how my investigation takes place, all this information of what we deal with, and this common theme, this theme that takes place around Michael Jackson that people have never been aware of, that there's this thing going on about abandoned children, being an abandoned child. And it also transitions to Diana Ross, like I said, because Diana Ross makes the movie Double Platinum, which is about the same story, right? So it's not just Michael, it was even Diana did it. Right? And so when you see like Diana doing it, you see Michael doing it, and then you see like the Conrad Murray and Smokey Robinson have the same birthday, you can see that these connections and what's actually taking place. And like I said, the Annie is in the movie The Champ. What's the movie The Champ about? Same fucking story, you know, and the kid goes into the Silver Spoons. What's Silver Spoons about? Same story, not raised by his parents. I mean, it's like, this is a common theme that constantly is reoccurring in Michael Jackson's life. I mean, come on, there can't be this many coincidences. It can't be. It's not possible and shit. It's like, my work is solid evidence, right? This is not like Pearl Jr., who's wacko, looking for every little sign. And now I understand it's a fine line between the stuff of what I do and what she does. But the stuff of what she does is for stupid people, right? Because you got to be stupid, first of all, to think that Michael Jackson faked his death. You got to be stupid to believe that shit, right? Because once you're pronounced dead, you have no legal rights as a human being, because like if Michael Jackson, and this is what I always say, if Michael Jackson is fake his death, well, he's legally dead. That means I could go up and kill him and I could not be charged because he's already legally dead, and dead man has no human rights as a citizen. You can't be killed twice. You're already dead, so you have no rights as a human being anymore, right? You think Michael Jackson just says, okay, I'm going to relinquish all my rights as a human being. I mean, that is the stupidest fucking thing and shit, right? That is so fucking stupid, right? So that's what I'm saying. So Pearl Jr.'s work is crap, right? But I see that how you can be like, oh, this links to this and this links to that, and then it's like, she's like, oh, and it says alive on his lip. I swear to God, that's not fucking evidence. So what? It says alive and shit. That doesn't mean he's alive and he faked his death and everybody's in on it, because Pearl Jr.'s like, Pepsi's in on it and everybody knows about it and they're all doing these death hoax clues. My story says nobody's in on it. The only people that could even possibly know about it is like only the closest family members, and for them to all tell the truth, it completely destroys their reputation, so none of those people ever told. And a lot of them might not even know the truth. Like with the Jackson stuff, if Catherine just brought the kid home and says, this is my kid, I was pregnant, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. What would the Jacksons even say? They were just like, this is our kid, he's living here, shut the fuck up, don't ask any questions. So that's all they never would ask any questions. He was obviously, at that point, he was their kid, he was going to be living in the house, so we ain't going to answer no stupid questions from the stupid kids. This is our fucking kid, that's all there is to it, right? So, and then which one of the kids would have actually known, okay, no, Catherine wasn't pregnant, well, who is this kid? Where's this kid come from and shit, right? So it's a tricky story, but none of them are going to tell the truth, because to tell the truth means you're not related to Michael Jackson, and the only thing that brings any fame to the Jackson family is that they're related to Michael Jackson. You know, you take him out of the family, and what are the Jacksons? Okay, I just wanted to get some information out there. Talk to you guys later. Bye.